up, so we are going up. We are going up, so we are going up. We are going up, so we are going up. We are going up, so we are going up.
Hey, what's your name?
Tom.
Tom, and you looking out for Preston North End today to get a good victory?
Aye, 4-2.
4-2, that's a pretty confident scoreline.
Yeah.
You've been watching them all season?
Aye.
Who's impressed you?
Your Millennium and David Nugent.
Joe, what are your predictions for the score today?
2-1.
2-1, any goal scorers?
Nugent and Creswell.
Come on, North End! PNA! 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 Rachel!
Any predictions for the scoreline today?
Just that Preston are going to win. Don't know what the score's going to be, but we're going to win.
Looking forward to playing the likes of Manchester United and Liverpool next year.
Can't wait. Can't wait.
With the Harrison family, have you travelled down today for the game?
We have, yes.
And you got any predictions of the score?
2-1.
2-1, what about you?
3-2.
3-2?
2-1.
2-1.
2-1, so unanimous 2-1 verdict. Any goal scorers, Mum?
No idea.
Nugent and Creswell.
Yeah, Nugent and Creswell.
Jim, any predictions of the scoreline today?
Well, it's a playoff game and the form book goes out the window. I think it's going to be hell for leather. I think Preston will come out on top.
You think they're going to come out of the traps?
I think they've got the traps early, take it to West Ham, because if you defend, then they've got some good strikers, but we've got strikers on our own, and watch David Nugent today.
And Nugent been impressing you this season, has he?
Well, the boy's class, just you wait and see. All right.
Brilliant. We're going to win today, no problem at all. 2-0.
2-0. Any prediction of scorers?
Cresswell, Nugent.
Sally, tell us about your banner. What does it say?
This is for Sir Tom Finney. It's a great atmosphere, Dave.
Terrific atmosphere. It seems to all be blue and white. Very little Carlton blue in sight, and I think we're going up.
Any predictions for the score?
I predicted either 2-0 or 4-1.
All right, Jack, what do you think the score's going to be today?
2-1 to Preston.
And who's the scorer's going to be?
Creswell and Nugent. Creswell and Nugent.
Are they your favourite players?
Yeah.
Got a prediction for the score?
2-1 Preston.
And who's your goal scorers?
I don't know.
Who have you got with you? Who's joined you?
Oh, friends, husband, daughters, and just family.
Oh, it's a great family day out, great atmosphere.
It is, it's absolutely fantastic. Brilliant. Come on,
I'm with Nathan, he's 7 years old. You looking forward to the game today?
Yes.
Who do you think is going to win?
Preston.
What do you think the score's going to be?
3-1.
3-1? You're confident then?
Yeah.
And have you got a favourite player?
David Nugent.
Why is that?
Because he scores loads of goals.
Okay, Andy, I believe you tipped a West Ham North End final for today.
I did actually. I out of all the teams in the playoffs, I did think there would be West Ham and Preston. I don't get too many right, but I'm going to claim a bit. I claim a bit of credit for that one. But I have backed West Ham to win it on the day. So for you Preston fans, I know. I hope I'm wrong. Usually am.
Prediction of scoreline?
Very tight. Always very, very tight. The only reason why is just maybe because West Ham have got a little bit more goals from different angles, if you like. I just think they might have one or two more match winners. Who knows? Wouldn't surprise me at all to see Preston do it. Done it amazingly well to get this far. Very difficult team to break down. I've seen them play 4 or 5 times this season, and impressed each time. So it will be tight. I wouldn't be surprised to see 2-1.
Right. And how do you think the players will be feeling right now? How are we before kick-off?
Looking forward to finally getting out there. I mean, like any big match, eventually getting out onto the field is when you finally think, right now, here we go, let's get on with it. All the build up to it, all the talk, all the hype. you know, it makes it exciting, but it also can be a bit draining sometimes. So to actually get out there and start the game and get zipping about on the field is exactly what it's all about. And I'm sure, you know, for the Preston players who, you know, may not have expected to be here, let's be honest, at the start of the season, they'll be really fired up and really, really revved up, looking forward to it. And I'm sure are going to make it a really tough afternoon.
All eyes on the players' tunnel, and here they come. The Preston North End and West Ham United players emerging from the players' tunnel, led by Mike Riley from West Yorkshire, the referee, and his officials. And then behind him, Chris Luchetti and Preston North End mascot. The cannons go off inside the stadium here, fireworks lighting up what is a lovely sunny afternoon. The smoke billowing from the centre of the pitch into the skies above the Millennium Stadium. The Preston North End players salute their fans. A standing ovation already from the Preston North End supporters. 90 minutes away from Preston North End reaching the highest division in the land. We're now going to have the national anthem. Preston North End kicking into the goal behind which the West Ham United supporters are congregated, and obviously West Ham United into the goal behind which the North End fans are congregated, and away we go. And the ball just nodded away, and it's Sean Newton over on that far side. Good interception by Brian O'Neill, clips the ball forward. Eddie Lewis in a challenge for that ball over on the far side, puts it out, throw into West Ham United, which is midway inside the West Ham half on the right-hand side. Thrown forward, good interception by Matt Hill. The noise inside this stadium, absolutely deafening. I do hope that Odd Effects Mike is not taking anything away. And West Ham United have got an early free kick. It's midway inside the Preston half. The challenge by Mawini. It's almost central. West Ham take it rather quickly. The ball floated into the area. Carlo Nash punches the ball away. The danger hasn't been cleared. It's just outside the box. Played over to the far side. The ball played in by Harewood, and in the end it's Mawini who gets the ball away to Creswell. Both of these sides will be looking to settle down in the early stages, Matt.
Yeah, I think we mentioned Matty Everinson before the game. I think we'll see a few stiff challenges on him just to test his nerve. We saw it in the playoff semi-finals that Ipswich tried to unsettle him, and I would imagine Billy Davis would be doing the same, but we all need a bit of a settler, don't we?
Well, if you like life in the fast lane, well then this is the place to be. The Preston North End football special, live from the Millennium Stadium here in Cardiff, and it's Claude Davis, preferred by Billy Davis in the starting lineup to Graham Alexander, who's on the bench. And it's Paul McKenna back to Davis. Davis just controls the ball as ball was then cleared away. Sedgwick. That's a free kick for Preston North End, which is about 8 yards inside the Preston half. Mawini says, leave it to me. Brian O'Neill just moves away. In fact, O'Neill comes back and takes a short one to Mawini. Early ball up towards the edge of the area. David Nugent with his first touch just gets a touch on it, and the ball drifts behind under the challenge of Ferdinand for a goal kick to West Ham United. So the West Ham United goalkeeper Jimmy Walker gets his first touch of this white ball, plays it out to Powell midway inside the West Ham half. Nugent comes across, and West Ham United with Zamora. The ball out to the right-hand side. West Ham United coming forward. Preston North End with some defending to do, which is headed away by O'Neill to McKenna. McKenna so important for Preston North End. David Nugent, McKenna linking out to Sedgwick now on the right-hand side. Sedgwick coming away down the right-hand side. Throw into North End, 8 yards inside the West Ham half. And Preston North End will be looking to get Sedgwick and Eddie Lewis down the touchline to try and get behind this West Ham defence to really open them up. Sedgwick controls the ball, a couple of players around him. Powell clears it away downfield, and it's gone out for a throw into North End, which is, it's about 10 yards inside the the West Ham United half. And Mulwiney, arguably Preston North End's player of the season. Big number 15 on the back of that white jersey, throws the ball to Luchetti. He lofts it forward. Powell just allows it to bounce out into touch, helped out by David Nugent. But it's a wonderful occasion, Matt.
It is. It's what we've looked forward for it seemed like an eternity those days since we kind of secured our place here. But the players were thinking that the same day. We just wanted to get out there and do the stuff, and now we will see if they can do that stuff.
A really, really big occasion. It's West Ham United with a run at the North End defence. Still West Ham United coming forward just outside the area. The ball played inside, and Eddie Lewis does. Oh, that ball seemed to hit the post. That was a chance for West Ham United. It was played in on the right-hand side, and it was a shot at goal. And Carlo Nash, I don't think knew an awful lot about it, and it actually smacked against the post and came back into play, Matt.
Thomas Repka doing the overlap. It was a good move by West Ham. Eddie Lewis didn't get anywhere near him. His hand up was for offside. Repka, though, he went on, played on, and his shot smashed against the post.
Well, when things like that happen, you really start to believe that it's your name is on the match. Preston North End certainly got away with it. That could have been the opener for West Ham United. Remember, West Ham have lost all 3 of the last matches against Preston North End, but that's the closest that we've been. Ball played deep inside the West Ham half. Repka and Eddie Lewis battling for the ball. I'm sure that'll be something that will happen right throughout the match. But really, it's a nerve-jangling moment as Paul McKenna has the ball, almost caught in possession, plays it back to Davis. He finds Matt Hill, and if there's one player who won't freeze in this match, it's Matt Hill. And West Ham United get the ball forward. Still West Ham in possession. Ball played by Zamora, good interception by Davis, picked up by O'Neill. And North End have got a free kick for the challenge from Davis. And the free kick taken quickly, one for Richard Cresswell to chase. Cresswell and Repka. And Cresswell just trying to get to that ball. It goes behind for a goal kick. But it's important, Matt, that North End learn from that experience.
Yeah, Repka got forward very well there. It'll be interesting to see Thomas Repka today. Obviously, he was sent off in our last meeting between the two sides. We know what type of temperament he's got. If we can get him, then we might get his mind off the game and onto something else.
West Ham United with this goal kick. Right in front of the West Ham United supporters. Fair bit of distance on the kick. Chris Luchetti and Zamora. Luchetti wins it, gets it to McKenna. He helps it onto Cresswell. Richard Cresswell mistimed the jump, and it's Powell for West Ham United. Bringing the ball forward. It was won by Newtons, and now it's Sedgwick with the run at the West Ham United defence. That was very well won by David Nugent. The ball slammed away. Anywhere will do by Ferdinand. So it's a throw into Preston North End. Just waiting for the ball to be retrieved from the terracing. Mulwiney throws the ball back to Luchetti. Takes it on his knee, pushes it to his left-hand side to Claude Davis. Back to Luchetti. Patient play by North End. This is the man that North End really got to get into the action, David Nugent. Paul McKenna on the right-hand side for North End. Still McKenna. Sedgwick trying to get away down the right-hand side, but it's West Ham who bring the ball away with Etherington. Out to Zamora. Chris Luchetti sticking very, very closely to Zamora, knowing what a dangerous player he can be. This is Repka being challenged by Eddie Lewis. Back it goes to Ferdinand. And he plays a short ball into the middle of the park, and it's just drifted away by Mullins. Touched on, Brian O'Neill with a nice little back flick, gets the ball away. Sedgwick nods it on, cleared upfield by Mulwiney. All bobbling around, and in the end it's West Ham United who have possession just inside their own half of the field. The ball drilled forward to Zamora, being trapped by Luchetti. Zamora moves inside and floats the ball into the back post. Ball lifted inside, and that's mine, says Carlo Nash, and it is. Very even so far, Matt.
Yeah, there's well, obviously West Ham have had the one that hit the post, but in terms of possession and field position, it is very even.
David Nugent and Powell battle for the ball. This is Brian O'Neill, had a wonderful season for Preston North End. And it's Chris Luchetti and Zamora. Luchetti gets there first, puts the ball out, throw into West Ham, which is going to be taken by Matt Etherington on this near side. In fact, he's going to leave it to Powell. It's about 10 yards inside the Preston half. Sun still shining here in the Millennium Stadium. 9 minutes of the match gone. Preston North End and West Ham United at 0-0. And it's Preston North End's throw-in, which is about 10 yards inside the Preston half. I don't really think that Mike Riley will leave Mawini. I think there was a suspicion that the referee might ask Mawini to move a little bit further back. Mawini, the Frenchman, with the throw, gets it forward to Creswell, takes it on his chest, cleared away, and Claude Davis in a chase for this one with Herwood. Davis just shepherds it back to Nash, who, as calm as you like, plays it out to Matt Hill, and Matt Hill just, the ball hits his heel, and he's rather fortunate to get away with it. Then he floats the ball forward looking for Creswell. The ball headed away, helped on up towards the halfway line, and now it's West Ham United coming forward with Etherington. A run at the North End defence. Chris Luchetti backpedaling, and Mawini does enough just to get that ball away, but the danger hasn't been cleared. Bobby Zamora just outside the box, played into the edge of the area. Davis does well, gets it to McKenna. McKenna comes away with the ball, and they want the ball upfield, and McKenna gets it forward to Richard Creswell. Creswell in a challenge for the ball with Ward. In the end, it's McKenna who skies the ball. O'Neill the meat and the sandwich, and that's a free kick to Preston North End for the challenge by Nigel Rio-Coker. West Ham United player down injured. Mike Riley just having a look. I think he's just telling him to get to his feet. And obviously, Matt, we wouldn't want the trainer on here.
No, it's a long walk for the trainer to get across this pitch, but Etherington, he just went down in the challenge, and the referee deemed it that he was the one fouling, so good luck to him.
Preston North End 0, West Ham United 0. The prize is absolutely enormous. As much maybe as £30 million, maybe more. Prize for success here this afternoon. A free kick to West Ham United, just outside their own penalty area, which is going to be taken by Jimmy Walker. And Walker in an orange jersey with blue sleeves, blue shorts, orange socks. Claude Davis heads the ball away from the edge of the North End area. Now it's Eddie Lewis coming, takes the ball on his chest. Lewis coming forward, still Lewis, and he's tripped. And that's a free kick to North End, and it might just be a booking. It could very well be a booking. Certainly the referee has called the West Ham United player over, Nigel Rio-Coker. It wasn't a booking, says the referee, but in fact it might still be. No, Mike Riley is going to leave it at that. A free kick to North End, which is about 20 yards inside the West Ham half. Short ball played to McKenna, out to Matt Hill on that left-hand side. Back it comes to McKenna. McKenna for North End, plays the ball to the edge of the area. It took a slight deflection. McKenna now got some work to do in a defensive role, but West Ham United get the ball forward. Mawini is there on the edge of the box, and there's West Ham United screaming for a penalty as Zamora went down under the challenge, but the referee right up with play, and he got it right, Matt.
It was a worrying moment though. Tom knocked the ball over the top, and we just didn't really cover quickly enough, and Newell came across. He managed to get something on the ball, and thankfully Nash picked the ball up, and the referee said no penalty.
North End coming forward. Matt Hill. Brian O'Neill, as he always is, in support. Touched on by Eddie Lewis to Creswell. Now it's Lewis with a run at the defence. Sedgwick at the back post. Cross delivered in. Headed away. It comes to McKenna just outside the area, and the ball cleared away. It's a nice little build-up by North End, and Mawini just allows that ball to go into touch. A throw into North End, quickly taken. Thrown into Chris Luchetti. Short ball to O'Neill. O'Neill hoofs the ball out to the left-hand side to Matt Hill. And Hill manages to prevent it going out for a goal kick, plays it inside to Davis. Claude Davis, back it goes to Matt Hill. And the sunshine over on the far side. Hill lifts the ball forward, one for Nugent. Nugent has a look over his shoulder, looks for some support. Nugent tried to get away from Ward. And now it's Eddie Lewis coming into the area, clips the ball in. The ball cleared away by Powell. North End did have players in the box, but in the end the cross left a little bit to be desired. But North End coming forward, but at the moment it's West Ham United on the attack. The ball played inside and Claude Davis just clips the ball back to Carlo Nash, who very nonchalantly boots the ball away downfield. Ball helped on David Nugent with a run at the West Ham defence. Almost got through. That was an important clearance from Anton Ferdinand. But West Ham, North End coming more into it, man.
We'll just come into it in the last few minutes. Eddie's got a bit of space down the left on 2 occasions, and he's delivered decent crosses. Just noticing that the players seem to be slipping about in the box, though.
The pitch was watered before the game. Here come North End again. Eddie Lewis with a run at the West Ham defence. Still Lewis placed the ball in. Just a little bit too much pace on that for Richard Creswell, and the ball ran away from the Preston North End striker and behind for a goal kick. But that was a nice move.
Eddie Lewis again, once he gets the space, he'll run into it, and he can deliver a good ball. On that occasion, it was just in front of Creswell, and we were unfortunate not to get on the end of it.
Preston North End 0, West Ham United 0. 14 minutes of the match gone. Chances at both ends of the park. But certainly David Nugent looks full of running for North End. And so far the Preston North End rearguard dealing with the challenge of Harewood and Zamora. The ball has gone out for it's a free kick, I think, to Preston North End. I think that's what the referee has given. It's going to be taken by Chris Luchetti. He's just to the right of the centre circle in the North End half of the field. Luchetti to play this ball forward. Luchetti in the shadow plays the ball down the right-hand side of the area. Richard Creswell's the target man, gets the head ahead of Powell. The ball is skied, and Paul McKenna battling for the ball. Manages to knock it down. David Nugent takes it on his chest, trying to get away from Powell, and that's a free kick to North End in a position of danger for West Ham United. It's about 7 yards outside the box on the right-hand side. Paul McKenna wearing the strapping to his right wrist. And it's Eddie Lewis who's coming across to this near side to take it for Preston North End. Lewis and McKenna with maybe a training ground routine. There's an enormous gap to the goalkeeper's left. Eddie Lewis. West Ham bring 10 men back behind the ball. Eddie Lewis plays the ball to the nice little touch on Richard Creswell, gets in a shot, and that ball almost took a deflection. That was a training ground routine. That was very well worked. It was a chance, and Richard Creswell got in, certainly had a chance to get in a shot at goal. Paul McKenna with the throw-in, 10 yards from the West Ham goal line, on the right-hand side. Thrown inside to Brian O'Neill. O'Neill forward to Sedgwick, who slips on the watered pitch. But that was a chance, Matt, for Richard Creswell.
It was a great set move, wasn't it? It almost came off. Creswell's shot come across, went across the 6-yard box at the end of it. We're just unfortunate we didn't get anybody on the end of that, but it was a great little move.
0-0. One of these two teams will be in the Premiership sometime later today. There's Eddie Lewis of Preston North End. Plays it back to O'Neill. Matt Hill to his left. We'll just push back to Claude Davis. And he finds Mawini on this right-hand side. A little bit too much elevation, and that ball goes out for a throw into West Ham United, immediately below our commentary position, which is just inside the West Ham half of the field. Going to be taken by Powell. No one really running around for West Ham for this throw-in. Ball thrown back towards the West Ham goal, and it will be shepherded back to the West Ham United goalkeeper, who can't pick it up. He brings it from shadow into sunshine, and then from the edge of the D, kicks right-footed. Claude Davis is underneath it. Davis gets up high, heads the ball to his right, and it's Mawini who just plays the ball forward. Good header back though by Powell. Zamora on the ball. West Ham United coming for. That's an offside surely, and the linesman agrees over on that far side. That was a chance as Hayden Mullins got forward. But certainly North End really coming into it now, man.
Yeah, they've settled down after the opening 10 minutes or so, where West Ham had a couple of chances knocking balls over the top. We just have to be careful of that one over the top, because Harewood and Zamora are quite pacey, so we'll just have to check that one out.
then get the ball up towards the edge of the West Ham area, headed away. Brian O'Neill knocks it back again. Cedric skies the ball. Richard Creswell with a back header, but it's West Ham United who've got possession with Rio Coker, but North End battling to win it back. At the moment it's Harewood. That ball goes off the shins of Chris Luchetti and out for a throw into West Ham, right on the halfway line, on the West Ham United left. In fact, Powell just stealing a few yards with that. The referee surely will tell him to move back a bit, but not doing that at the moment. He throws the ball back into the West Ham half of the field, and it's Ward asking for someone to come to him, and in the end he clears the ball away upfield, and all is helped on the submission of handball by Bobby Zamora, but it's Repka lifts it forward. West Ham United in possession with Rio Coker. Ball goes out for a throw into the Hammers, midway inside the Preston half on the right-hand side. The Preston North End football special, live from the Millennium Stadium. The ball, that's a tug of the shirt by Bobby Zamora on Claude Davis. Referee right up at play, spots it immediately. A free kick to Preston North End. The West Ham supporters a little bit subdued, man.
Yeah, they're a bit more nervous, I suppose. They've got more to lose in this game. They've been deemed the favourites, and they want to get back to the Premiership. For us, the pressure's not on, really.
Paul McKenna from North End lifts the ball out, trying to find Eddie Lewis on that far side. Lewis manages to keep it in. And then the ball lifted forward. Richard Creswell down the left-hand side of the area, back to goal, looks for some support. Finds it in Matt Hill. Hill finds O'Neill, looks over his shoulder, plays it forward to Creswell. Creswell trying to find a bit of space. Nice little ball into the dead ball line. Eddie Lewis goes after it, but just a little bit too much pace on it.
Yeah, it's a good play down the left. They've obviously realised that Eddie is our threat, and we're trying to use him as much as possible, which is good news.
If Eddie Lewis can get the better of Repka down that left-hand side and deliver in some crosses, and his opposite number, Chris Sedgwick, can do a workmanlike job down the right-hand side, well then this West Ham defence could really be put under pressure. Not the best of defences, I have to say, West Ham United, but it's West Ham just outside the area with Zamora. The ball played in, and there's a chance, and Nicolo Nash makes a good save. It was a good effort by Matt Etherington. He got in goal side on the left-hand side of the box, nicely set up by Zamora, and Carlo Nash did well to turn that over the bar.
That was a good chance. Fortunately for North End, he hit it straight at Carlo, and Carlo hit it, tipped it over the bar. That was a good, dangerous move from West Ham.
Corner kick to West Ham United on this left-hand side, right in front of the Preston North End supporters. It's Etherington is over the ball, so too is Sean Newton. Corner kick for West Ham United. North End with 9 men back defending. The corner kick delivered in, headed away by Davis. Seems inevitable when those crosses come over that Davis will win the day. Eddie Lewis just helps the ball down. Billy Davis comes to the edge of his technical area, having some words with Eddie Lewis. And it's a throw into West Ham, which Repka will take. Throws the ball back to his goalkeeper. So West Ham have to start from deep inside their own half of the field. Still 0-0 in this nerve-wracking cup final here at the Millennium Stadium. We're at the halfway stage in the first half. North End with Claude Davis defending very well, aided by Matt Hill. Gets that ball away, out for a throw-in to West Ham, midway inside the Preston half on the right-hand side. Repka comes chasing down the line, wanting the ball. Throw into West Ham. Nigel Rio Coker being guarded on the edge of the area by Sedgwick as the ball is thrown back to Repka. And he puts a diagonal ball into the area, headed away by Brian O'Neill. And it's Richard Creswell battling for the ball. West Ham played the ball back into their own half, and I think Powell might just play it back to his keeper. Can't help falling in love with using the Preston North End supporters, but the noise inside the stadium absolutely deafening. Ward gets the ball out to Powell on this near side, just inside the Preston half. Powell plays the ball forward. Bobby Zamora being watched very closely by Luchetti. And the ball is gained, goes back to the West Ham United goalkeeper, who just rolls the ball away to the edge of the area to Ward. Ward looking for someone to come to him. He plays the ball to his right to Ferdinand. Back it goes to Ward, and then back to the goalkeeper. West Ham players not really running around to try and find the spaces. The ball is with Chris Luchetti. And Miketi just skies that ball up towards the halfway line, and McKenna helps it on. Richard Creswell controls it. The referee says there was a handball by Richard Creswell in controlling it. And Mike Riley and Richard Creswell just exchanged some words, shall we say. Free kick to West Ham, just to the left of the centre circle in the West Ham half of the field. Going to be taken by Ward up towards the edge of the area. Lovely header away by Claude Davis. He's such a commanding figure in the air is Davis, but it's West Ham in possession down the right-hand side of the area. Davis trying to get in a challenge, and he does so. And that ball drifts away, a throw into Preston North End. Good defending by Claude Davis, applauded by Matt Hill. That was excellent defending.
Yeah, we got lucky as well because it took a deflection off Rio Koke, so it's a throw into North End. One all each way there.
And it's Matt Hill with the throw in for North End. Just over 21 minutes of the first half remaining, and West Ham have got a throw in deep inside North End territory. It's going to be taken by Nigel Rio Koke, and in fact it isn't going to leave it to Repka. North End have got everybody except Richard Creswell back defending. North End will try and strike on the break as the throw-in is launched into the area. Nash stays on his goal line. Ball headed, referee seen an infringement in the area. Free kick to Preston North End. I think so far the referee's handling the game well, Matt.
Yeah, he's not letting anybody back into defenders, and that's helping North End because Harewood likes to do that. He likes to hold the ball up and start backing into his centre halves. And although we do have Chris and Claude, who are two of the strongest centre halves, the referee's making it a bit easier for them anyway.
Preston North End supporters who are making the noise inside the stadium at the moment. As we were saying, the West Ham supporters strangely subdued, and throw into Preston North End, which is about 8 yards or so inside the West Ham half. Going to be taken by Matt Hill. And Matt Hill with this throw throws the ball down the line, helped on by Richard Creswell into the path of O'Neill. He knocks it down to McKenna, back to Hill, down the line. North End trying to win the ball back again, but it's Harewood who gets the ball forward, trying to release Zamora. But it's the elegant Frenchman. And Winnie plays the ball to the edge of the area and knocked down, and it's Preston North End trying to battle for the ball. Sedgwick and Nugent both left it to each other. And in the end, it's West Ham United with Repka. Plays the ball back to Ward, and a rather dangerous ploy. And North End win it back again with Winnie to McKenna, to Lewis, out to Hill on that far side. Hill coming forward. Ball played forward to Lewis, trying to get away from his marker. Down to the dead ball line. That's a corner kick to North End on the left-hand side, which Paul McKenna will go across to take. And the big men come forward for North End. Matt Hill, the lone figure on the halfway line, with Bobby Zamora. Matt Hill wants somebody else to come back, and Sedgwick is doing exactly that, so North End preventing them being caught on the break. But it's North End on the attack. McKenna with the corner kick into that crowded area, and the ball goes right across the face of goal. Nugent goes chasing after it, manages to keep it in. Nugent has a look at the possibilities, delivers the ball into the near post, but that only needed a touch, Matt.
Yeah, it just flew past everybody, didn't it? A great ball in there, but it just lacked a touch.
Etherington gets the ball forward, ball played, a good interception by Hill, did very well indeed, but it's West Ham United in possession. The ball played out to the right-hand side by Hayden Mullins. For West Ham United, midway inside the Preston half. And Brian O'Neill was trying to avoid the contact, and I think a little bit unfair that by the referee on Brian O'Neill. He was trying to avoid the contact, and the referee's given an obstruction. And I think the referee might want to have some words with Brian O'Neill, which I do hope that it's not going to be a booking. But O'Neill, Matt, was trying to get out of the way.
Well, it's Mullins who seems to have stuck his face in Brian O'Neill's face. These West Ham players like doing that.
Well, it looks as though the referee's given a free kick to West Ham, which is midway inside the Preston half. And David Nugent's just gone across to the touchline to Billy Davis is having some words with him. Nugent taking on some water, because it must be very, very warm in these conditions. The sun is shining, and of course this pitch is very much like a bowl. The roof is open, but it must be very, very hot out there. The referee still... What's a yellow card? And the yellow card is for Hayden Mullins for the challenge on O'Neill. So West Ham get the free kick and a booking, Matt.
Yeah, like I said, he stuck his face into Brian's face. Brian made the initial foul, but Mullins just got up and squared up to Brian, so the referee's took action.
Now we've got this free kick to West Ham United, midway inside the Preston half and about 10 yards in from the touchline. The ball played into that crowded area, ball nodded down, Sedgwick helps it away, and McKenna takes control. Good defending by North End, getting the ball forward, but then Replica makes an interception as Creswell challenges for the ball, and now a free kick awarded to West Ham for the challenge by Paul McKenna. So a free kick to West Ham, which is about 10 yards, maybe a little bit more, inside the Preston half. They take it quickly. Mullins just plays the ball back, and then it's into the West Ham half of the field to Ferdinand. He lifts it forward to the edge of the area, helped on by Ward, but Mawini clears it away downfield. Powell, I have to say Powell is seeing a lot of this ball for West Ham United. Here's Etherington with the run at the North End defence. Sedgwick sticks with him, and that's another free kick to West Ham United, and this time dead central and about 15 yards, maybe 12 yards outside the box. That's a free kick given away by Sedgwick for the challenge on Etherington. This could be a training ground routine, or it could very well be that Harewood might just fancy a potted goal. I would think it's no more than 32 yards from goal, so it's certainly hittable as the referee measures out the 10 yards. With the Preston North End players standing in the D. That gives you some idea of the range. It's dead central. I'm not really sure what Carlo Nash can see behind that wall of defenders. West Ham United, Etherington's over the ball, so is Harewood. Etherington has a look at it. Harewood comes forward. Etherington follows, that's high over the crossbar. Jeers from the Preston North End supporters, and Matt wasted.
Yeah, you've got to hit the target, you've got to make the keeper work, and he's not done that. He's just got his foot under the ball a bit, leant back, and well, it's gone over the bar, much to the derision of the Preston North End fans.
15 minutes, maybe just a few seconds more of the match in the first half remaining, still 0-0. Both sides very, very evenly matched, I would say, here this afternoon. That's the way the players gone, each enjoying little bursts of superiority. And here's Paul McKenna for North End, clips it forward, trying to release Nugent down the right-hand side. Powell is with him, but Nugent back to goal, looks for some support, finds it in Mawini. He finds Paul McKenna. McKenna lifts the ball to the left-hand side to Matt Hill. Hill's first touch lets him down, and then there's a challenge by Hill, and that's a free kick to West Ham United. Referee is going to book Matt Hill. It's a booking for the challenge. So it's a free kick to West Ham United, which Ferdinand will take. It's about 5 yards inside the Preston half. Billy Davies to the edge of his technical area, screaming out his instructions to his back four. Ferdinand floats the ball up towards the edge of the area. Mawini heads the ball away as he slips on the edge of the area. Ball played away again, but it's Etherington just knocks the ball down. Zamora with his back to goal plays the ball back to Powell, ever willing to come forward for West Ham. Etherington, very much a left-footed player, floats the ball into the area. Carlo Nash, as calm as you like, gathers the ball and bowls it away to Eddie Lewis. Richard Creswell is forward, the ball played forward to Creswell, being tracked on that far side, and the ball goes off Creswell, who slips under the challenge of Ferdinand, and it's gone out for a throw into West Ham United, and they throw the ball back to the goalkeeper, who can't pick it up, clears it away downfield, and Chris Lucchetti and Zamora battle for the ball, helped on by Sedgwick. Oh, lovely play by North End, as calm as you like, getting themselves forward now, lifted forward to Nugent. Nugent just wouldn't sit down for him, and then the ball played to Repka, who just gets there ahead of Eddie Lewis. O'Neill wins it for North End. Matt Hill plays it forward to Eddie Lewis. Lewis is turned, and that's a free kick to North End. Wolves in the possession. Now the referee calls play back. He was prepared to allow the possession, which Richard Creswell is now furious because he did in fact get away from Ferdinand. But it's a free kick in a position of danger now for West Ham United. It's in a similar position to the free kick that West Ham had a few moments ago. It's in an inside left channel as North End look at it. Paul McKenna's over the ball. So is Eddie Lewis. Everybody back behind the ball now for West Ham United. Will McKenna go for glory in Route 1? There's an enormous gap to the goalkeeper's left. The West Ham United supporters behind that goal looking on very, very anxiously. I'm sure Paul McKenna will have been practicing this all week. McKenna Lewis and Sedgwick in line. McKenna comes forward, plays it now to Lewis. The ball floated into the air, the ball headed away. Chris Sedgwick in a chase for this ball. But it's Herwood who gets there first. And West Ham United clear the danger and get a throw in. That was a nice move, Matt.
Another good set piece from North End. They've obviously been doing this at the Portuguese training camp. And once again, we were loaded in the box. It just needed a North End body to be on the end of it.
Let's get the impression that one of these crosses which are coming in from North End will get that touch to divert the ball beyond the keeper. We're still at 0-0. Claude Davis having a very good game alongside Chris Luchetti. Eddie Lewis drills the ball forward. Good control though by Ward, who's playing well at the heart of the West Ham United defence. So is this man, Chris Luchetti for North End. And Luchetti plays it forward. Ball headed away before Richie Creswell can get to it. Eddie Lewis challenging for the ball, but it's West Ham United. Play the ball to Etherington. The man North End really do have to keep quiet. If Etherington plays well, so does West Ham United. Etherington, and it's Herwood on the ball. Ball played forward. Zamora plays the ball out to the right-hand side to Repka. West Ham United midway inside the Preston half. Still Zamora, a good challenge. And the referee's given a free kick for the challenge by Paul McKenna. That seemed a little bit hard, but it's in a position of danger for North End. It's in an inside right channel, no more than 6 yards outside the box. So North End bring everybody except David Nugent back to defend this one. Billy Davis sitting on the bench. Ned Kelly to the edge of the technical area. West Ham United with 4 players around the ball as the referee paces out the 10 yards. The Preston North End supporters behind that goal looking on anxiously. Carlo Nash directing operations from his goal line. This could be a crack at goal by Etherington. Hayden Mullins just to the left of 2 players, so it could be a training ground routine. Even Nugent is coming back for Preston North End now, but North End will try and get this ball away and strike on the break. And West Ham United, only 2 players now in the West Ham United half of the field. As Paul McKenna wins the ball forward, but there's no one to come with him. And that ball is played one for Sedgwick to chase. That was something of a waste, really. McKenna won the ball, and had he had someone to play the ball forward to, Matt, North End could have been away.
Yeah, Nugent had to come back there because there was a spare man on the edge of the box, so he had to watch that. Fortunately, then West Ham didn't come off with it from there.
Inside the final 10 minutes of the first half, we're still as we started at 0-0. The ball played back towards the edge of the West Ham area to Ward. He plays a short ball, and then back it goes to Ward. He finds Powell. West Ham not really making any progress, and in the end the ball will go back to Ward, and it might even go back to the keeper. No, Ward just hoofs the ball upfield. Claude Davis is underneath it, wins the aerial duel with Zamora, and then the ball is knocked down by Matt Hill, and the linesman on the far side indicates a handball by Sean Newton. So it's a free kick to Preston North End, just to the left of the D, which Brian O'Neill will take in the North End half of the field. O'Neill just, in fact, he's going to leave it to Claude Davis. So North End with the opportunity to get this ball up towards the edge of the West Ham area. Davis lifts it forward. Creswell and Repka move for the ball. Repka just gets it away. It goes off Richard Creswell and ricochets away. It's a throw into West Ham United, which is about 8 yards inside the West Ham half on the right-hand side. A very, very even match here in the Millennium Stadium, with something like £30 million, plus the privilege of playing in the Premiership, to be won by one of these 2 sides this afternoon. That's how much it is worth, as Nugent tries to knock the ball down to McKenna, and in the end the ball's played back to the West Ham keeper. Just over 8 minutes of the first half remaining, plus whatever the referee will add on. The ball played out to the left-hand side of the West Ham area, played forward by Powell. Luchetti puts the ball back. West Ham pumped the ball back into the North End half of the field. Luchetti and Zamora back up for the ball, and that's a free kick to North End. Chris Luchetti appears to take a knock in that, but he's all right, and it's going to be Mawini who will take this free kick for North End. Plays a short ball to his left to Davis. Davis having a very good match so far. Plays the ball out to Mawini on the right-hand side. Short ball down the line to Sedgwick. North End with this nice possession play. Sedgwick coming forward, tries to thread the ball through to Creswell. He gets the ball back again, and then Mawini wins a throw in from North End, just inside the West Ham half. on the right-hand side. Winnie so calm and casual, Matt.
Yeah, he's nothing flusters him at all. He could be on the park, just playing on a beach or somewhere. He just doesn't. It's not the Millennium Stadium almost.
Ward heads the ball away from the edge of the West Ham area, played back to Ferdinand, who gets there just ahead of Nugent, but a nice little knockdown by Claude Davis to Sedgwick. Now to the ever-willing Mawini. Now to O'Neill, one of the midfield dynamos, along with the man on the ball, Paul McKenna for North End. Back it goes to O'Neill. O'Neill has a look up, brings the ball forward as West Ham retreat. Ball clip to Richard Creswell on the edge of the area, out to the right-hand side. McKenna battling for the ball with ball played inside the area. Ball nodded back inside by Creswell. Still bobbling around. Eddie Lewis heads it on. Anxious moments in the West Ham United defence. Bobby Zamora trying to get the better of Claude Davis. He comes away with the ball and then plays it through. Carlo Nash very quickly off his line. Gathers that white ball on the edge of his area. Brian O'Neill wants the ball here on this right-hand side. Carlo Nash didn't see him. Nash just rolls the ball to the edge of his area as we move with just over 6 minutes of the first half remaining. And a very, very interesting match. Now it's Nugent on the right-hand side of the area for North End. Ferdinand backs off, still Nugent trying to get into the area, and he wins a corner kick. Good play by Nugent. Did very, very well indeed. A corner kick to North End, right in front of the West Ham United supporters. This time Eddie Lewis comes across to this right-hand side. The big men have come forward for North End. Claude Davis and Chris Lucchetti. North End trying to find a way through. Neither side has managed that so far. Eddie Lewis with the corner kick, delivered into a crowded area, and well, Lucchetti got a touch on that, and there was a collision of bodies with Ferdinand, and Ferdinand stays down, but it's West Ham United trying to strike on the break. That was very, very close for North End, Matt.
It was again another great ball delivered in, and well, it was Lucchetti. He just didn't get enough on it, did he? It was a great cross though, and it's giving North End hope, all these boxes into the 6-yard area.
Claude Davis, masterful for North End so far. Gets the ball away to Richard Creswell. Creswell, a couple of players around him, loses out, and West Ham have got possession once again. Preston North End football special, live from the Millennium Stadium with Tom Parker and Matt Morris. Absolutely fascinating confrontation. Neither side, as you would expect, prepared to give an inch. There's too much at stake for that. Will it be a little bit of individual brilliance which settles all this, or maybe a defensive lapse? One thing is certain, it will all get sorted out here in South Wales, the Millennium Stadium in Cardiff this afternoon. North End with Matt Hill going forward. The ball just wouldn't sit nicely for Hill. Repka just managed to get the touch and divert the ball back to his goalkeeper. But there is a willingness about the Preston North End fullbacks to get forward in support of the attack, Matt.
You've got to, if you're going to get the overlaps like West Ham did in the first minute, the fullbacks have got to go past the wide men and start giving other options to the team.
Zamora plays the ball off the referee, out to Powell on the left-hand side. Picked up by Etherington, back it goes to Powell, he lifts it forward, and Brian O'Neill gets the better of Harewood. And it's Paul McKenna, plays the ball, lovely ball in, now to Eddie Lewis, with a chance to get the ball to Mawini. Mawini lifts the ball forward, David Nugent with a run at the defence going into the area. Nugent was brought down, North End screaming for the penalty, and North End seemed to have a case, Matt.
It did slip. It was one of those where it's 50-50, but it's a great ball by Mawini. What a ball! Nugent one-on-one, almost turned his man inside out, but he just slips at the vital moment, I think, Tom.
It's delivered in. Richard Creswell just beaten to the ball by Ward. North End really are beginning to open up this West Ham United defence and creating problems. As we were saying, the West Ham defence not the best in the world. Now it's a run by Rio Coca, but that man, that elegant Frenchman, Mawini, wins the ball and wins the throw-in. What a player, man.
He's a step above, isn't he? He's a different class. If anyone would play in the Premiership, it's Yul Mawini. He is a fantastic player, and what a ball. I mean, talk about it again. It was a fantastic ball over the top of the defence.
What has he got to do to get in the French squad?
I don't know. Probably play for Arsenal, probably.
Here comes Matt Hill as North End bring the game to West Ham United in the closing stages of this first half. Just 2.5 minutes remaining, plus whatever the referee would and on for stoppages. And there's no doubt at all about it that in the last 10 minutes it's been Preston North End who bossed the game. Ward, nobody running into position for him. West Ham really relying on these forward balls, and here's Mawini, chases after this ball, just can't keep it in, and that ball has gone out for a throw into West Ham United. The clock continuing to tick down. It's about 15 yards inside the Preston half, but there's no doubt at all about it. West Ham United have gone off the boil, due largely to the persistence of Preston North End, who really are now giving a very good account of themselves, and already we've seen Nugent and Luchetti and Lewis all getting themselves into dangerous positions, as Matt Hill did, and no one is playing better for North End than Mawini and Claude Davis. And that's an area of the park where it's so important for North End to shine. Paul McKenna does well, gets away from his marker, and then plays the ball to O'Neill, but it's a 50-50 ball, which Creswell will now come and play for North End. Out to Eddie Lewis. Lewis just clips the ball back into the path of Hill. He lifts it forward. Cedric just can't reach that ball, and Ferdinand pumps it away. Anywhere will do as far as Ferdinand is concerned. And it's a throw into North End. They now move towards the final minute. O'Neill. North End definitely the better of the two sides at the moment, Matt.
Yeah, they've just put their influence on the game a bit more and starting to pass it around a bit and finding the front men like we've seen here.
Chip Creswell on the ball, being trapped by Ferdinand. Gets the ball back to Eddie Lewis. Lewis looks for some support. Floats in a right-footed cross ball, headed away by Ward. McKenna's underneath it though, controls it. Looks for some support. Gets the ball on the deck. Plays it to Mawini. Mawini gets away from his marker. Moving forward. West Ham retreat. Ball played into Creswell. Creswell challenges on the edge of the area. Two players around him. McKenna just can't get in that challenge, and now it's West Ham United coming forward. Ball played inside. Zamora in a chase for the ball, but he's got Claude Davis with him, and he gets away from Davis. And the ball inside the area there. It goes behind for the corner kick to West Ham United. That's West Ham United doing what they do best, but Claude Davis, some wonderful defending, Matt.
Yeah, he got himself in a tangle, and somehow Zamora got goal side, which he didn't want, but it brought out a fantastic match-saving tackle from Claude to retrieve the situation, and West Ham have got a corner from it.
9 men come back for North End. We've played the 45 minutes. We're now in the hands of the referee as to how much stoppage time. 1 minute, says the fourth official over on the far side. West Ham United with this corner kick, right in front of the North End supporters. A corner kick which Etherington delivers into the crowded area. Nash comes and gathers, and now they want the ball downfield. Eddie Lewis and Nugent are downfield. Carlo Nash looks over his shoulder. I really thought, Matt, that he would have released that.
I thought as well, but he's just trying to save time, and he's kicked the ball finally. He held on to that ball for a long time.
And did have players forward, albeit they were both covered by a player, but a ball punted from the goal area could have set something up. Now Nugent, and Nugent tried to just stab a shot on that one. It's Matt Hill's kept it in, deep inside West Ham territory. Back to Eddie Lewis. North End finishing the stronger of the two sides. We're now in the hands of the referee as to how much longer this first half is going to continue, and the answer is no longer. And I think, Matt, if we were to be honest about it, it's very, very even.
Yeah, if you look at it, West Ham probably have had the clearer cut chances, especially the one that hit the post in the opening minutes of the game. And looking back to Matty Etherington, the shot that Carlo Nash tipped over the bar. But North End, possession-wise, have had a lot more of the game, I think. And we've put some decent crosses into the box. And all it really takes is a Chris Luchetti or a Claude Davis to get on the end of one of those, and we could be talking about a 1-0.
Well, there we are, full second half commentary coming up on the Preston North End football special, live from the Millennium Stadium. The half-time score, Preston North End 0, West Ham United 0. Harewood and Zamora on the centre spot. North End could be 45 minutes away from the Premiership. Away we go. And Powell plays the ball forward. And Chris Luchetti gets it forward, but the referee has given a free kick against Brian O'Neill. That's a free kick to West Ham United, just to the left of the D in the Preston half of the, or rather just to the left of the centre circle in the Preston half of the field, as my headphones all but disappear. So a free kick to West Ham. Every claret jersey covered by one in white. Matt Hill with some defending to do, and that ball ricochets away and has gone off Repka and out for a the goal kick. So Repka, just as he was in the opening minute of the first half, involved in the action. Carlo Nash just places this white ball behind him, the masked West Ham United support. And Nash, right-footed, fair bit of distance on the kick. Richard Creswell's the target man, wins the aerial duel with Ward, and the ball is helped on. Powell manages to clear it downfield, but Chris Luchetti is underneath it. Positive header by the Preston North End skipper, out for a throw into West Ham, about 5 yards inside the Preston half on the left-hand side. Gordon now thrown into the West Ham half of the field. West Ham may have to play this ball back towards their own goal, and Ward skies it away. Davis takes a knock under that challenge with Harewood, and Davis seems to have taken a knock to the face. And the referee's given Preston North End a free kick. Now if it's a free kick for an elbow, well then it should be a booking for Harewood, but Harewood just walks away. Can't help falling in love with you, sing the Preston North End supporters. Mulwinny with this free kick for North End. 20 yards inside the Preston half. A short ball to Sedgwick. North End really do need Sedgwick to get more involved in this second half in an attacking stance, as Richard Creswell gets up high, knocked the ball down to Sedgwick. Eddie Lewis at the back post. Sedgwick manages to win a throw-in for North End, deep inside West Ham territory on the right-hand side. Paul McKenna throws it to Mulwinny. Mulwinny controls it, looks for some support, clips a lovely ball through to Creswell, and North End claiming a corner kick, and the linesman on the far side gives it. I don't think the referee could actually see it through a little posse of players, but the linesman saw it clearly. A corner kick to North End. Luchetti comes forward. It's going to be Paul McKenna to take this corner kick. The previous one in the first half was taken by Eddie Lewis, and he caused quite a few problems for the West Ham defence. The Preston North End fans behind that goal will try to suck this ball into the net. McKenna with the corner kick. The big men are forward for North End. McKenna has a look at the crowded area. Two arms in the air. The corner kick delivered. Creswell goes up. Ball headed off the line by Powell. That was an excellent effort from Richard Creswell. He had a measured header, and North End supporters really up for it. The ball cleared off the goal line. Another corner kick to North End. McKenna again with the corner kick. Delivered in into the back post. Claude Davis. The ball comes to Sedgwick, and he just got underneath that and put it over the bar. But they were two chances of Preston, Matt.
That's North End's best chance of the game. Cresswell looked like someone there, and it was a perfectly placed header. But for the fact that West Ham had a man on the post like they're meant to have, and Chris Powell there, he entered his corner, heading it away. Second chance came out to Sedgwick on the edge of the box, and he just tried spinning and hitting it on the turn, and he just went over the bar.
Anxious moments for West Ham United. 0-0. 4 minutes into the second half. A match which could go either way, but North End starting the second half like they finished the first, looking to break West Ham United down. Mulwinny comes forward for North End, as he's done so often, to O'Neill, out to Matt Hill. Hill controls the ball, has to play it back to Davis, and then he plays a nice ball forward, finds Richard Creswell, manages to get away from his marker. McKenna looks over his shoulder, still McKenna. Mulwinny to his right, but the ball goes further right to Sedgwick. He tries to thread it through to Creswell. North End, though, still with possession. Mulwinny, short one into O'Neill. O'Neill lifts it forward, one for McKenna to chase, but North End oozing confidence, man.
Yeah, they've obviously been lifted by that chance by Creswell, and they're starting to bomb the ball about a bit, to ping it about each player, and that's what we want to see.
Well, North End battling for the ball, and the referee's given a free kick for the challenge by Richard Creswell on Powell. But West Ham really do look shaky in defence. North End must try to work on that. But they've got some defending to do. Luchetti does it well, gets it away to McKenna. He gets the ball forward. O'Neill helps it on to Nugent. Nugent to O'Neill. He tried to release Eddie Lewis, but it's West Ham United coming forward. A chance now for Harewood, and he plays the ball. The goalkeeper does well, and the ball cleared off the line by Mulwinny. Ball bobbling around again. Nash does well. There were 3 efforts for West Ham United, and Preston North End survived all 3. But Matt, it was dangerous, and in the beginning it was Nash, then Mawini. Wonderful defending.
Hearts in your mouth time for North End. Mawini off the line. Well, it was almost twice off the line. And Harewood and Zamora are going to look at that one and think they should have scored.
Well, when things like that happen, as it did in the opening minute of the match, you then really do believe that your name is on the cup. That really was an anxious moment. So chances at both ends. Sedgwick for Preston North End, plays it to McKenna. Now to Mawini, just inside the Preston half, to Sedgwick, coming forward. He lifts the ball forward. Nugent just beaten to the ball by Ward. Really is a pulsating match here. Everybody on the edge of their seats as Mawini lifts the ball forward down the right-hand side. Creswell knocks it on. Ward will get there, and a little bit of panic in the West Ham defence. Ward had time to just play that ball calmly back to his goalkeeper. Instead, he slammed it into the terracing on the far side. A throw into North End, midway inside the West Ham half. Mawini with the throw. Preston North End supporters making a lot of noise. Luchetti gets it forward to Creswell. West Ham cleared it away, only as far as O'Neill. The ball pumped back to Mawini. To O'Neill. North End playing this possession game, pushing it forward, little triangles. Sedgwick plays it back to Luchetti. He lifts it forward. Powell is underneath it. He ducks down, and Powell plays the ball back to his goalkeeper. He clears it away downfield. West Ham defence really does look decidedly shaky, but North End have got to guard against being caught on the break, and yet for all that they've got to try and go forward to get the opener. Ferdinand out to the left-hand side to Powell. Powell always seems to be available, but really one of the few West Ham players who is. Sedgwick, good control, gets it to Mawini. Mawini gets a shout from McKenna. McKenna lifts it forward. Lewis touches it to Creswell, cleared away downfield by Ward. Davis is underneath it, a nice little back header, gets the ball to Nash. But this West Ham defence doesn't look all that solid, Matt.
Darren Ward's obviously not too comfortable with the ball at his feet. He's definitely a Rose Ed match, and Anton Ferdinand's a bit more comfortable, but we haven't seen him with the ball. It's Creswell and Nugent chasing him down.
Richard Creswell for Preston North End. Back it comes to Mawini, to O'Neill. He plays it down the right-hand side. Powell is underneath it, heads it away. I haven't seen anything so far in the second half of Etherington, and that's the way North End will want to keep it. Throw into West Ham, which is midway inside the West Ham half. 8.5 minutes of the second half gone. Mawini wins the ball in the air, as he's done so often this afternoon, and on the deck as well. This time it's Matt Hill lifts the ball forward. Creswell in a chase. The keeper comes out of his area, just gathers that ball. He's gathered it just inside the area, in fact, and then shapes to kick it away downfield as Jimmy Walker, and in the end he just brings the ball away. 9 minutes of the second half gone. Pendulum swinging first one way and then the other. North End have got a free kick for the hand up by Harewood. I think Claude Davis has had a wonderful game, Mark.
He has. He's been a tower of strength once again. He was fantastic at Derby, and he's had a big operation today because Marlon Harewood is a tough customer, but he's dealt with him well so far.
North End with Eddie Lewis battling for the ball, and the referee has given a free kick, which West Ham take very, very quickly, and it's Ria Coker on this near side. Repka now with the throw in for West Ham United, right on the halfway line. Still 0-0, says the electric scoreboard. Harewood just touches the ball neatly on. Still West Ham United in possession. Newton gets the ball out to the left-hand side. Etherington with the run at the Preston defence. May have overrun now, manages to get the ball inside, the ball bobbling around, and something of a lucky ricochet gets the ball off Matt Hill, but I think the referee's given a free kick anyway, Matt.
Yeah, I think Matty Hill was just pushed out off the ball there. It looks like, yeah, he's given a free kick anyway, so Matty Hill was pushed off the ball, and the referee spotted it.
Hollow Nash with the free kick for Preston North End, wants to go and re-spot it. It's just inside the North End area. Billy Davis once again to the edge of his technical area. Preston North End fans making a deafening amount of noise. Just need to get Nugent into this game to really trouble this West Ham United defence. Ball headed forward, Creswell battling for the ball. West Ham though win it back again, coming forward, good interception by Paul McKenna. McKenna's working his socks off in the middle of the park and he's got a free kick. It's about 8 yards inside the Preston half. Going to be taken by Brian O'Neill. North End have got Nugent, Creswell, Lewis and Sedgwick all forward. As the ball is played to Mawini, a nicely clipped ball finds Creswell just on the edge, in fact it's Nugent on the edge of the area. Back it comes to Creswell, plays it through to Nugent, a little bit too much pace on that ball, but Powell just shields it as it goes behind a goal kick. The North End just need to get David Nugent clear, Matt.
Yeah, he's got good post control, and if you get it to his feet, he'll hold it up for you and bring other people into the game. We've seen him do that there with Creswell. He just needs to see more of the ball.
And neither side have used any substitutes so far. The ball is played into the Preston half of the field. Harewood heads it on. Touched out by Zamora to Etherington. A run at the North End defence. There's danger. Cross delivered in. Oh, and North End have gone behind. West Ham United have taken the lead, and it's Bobby Zamora who sent the Hammers into raptures. The cross was delivered in, it was completely harmless, but North End, as Claude Davis appeared to slip in the area, and Bobby Zamora got the touch to steer the ball beyond Colin Nash. West Ham United 1, Preston North End 0. And it has to be said, Matt, somewhat against the run of play.
Yes, Etherington was the key to that. He got beyond his marker, he got to the byline and whipped across in. It's just unfortunate Claude Davis seemed to slip just at the moment of the ball coming near him, and well, that left Zamora with a tap-in almost.
Preston North End, who've beaten West Ham on the last 3 occasions, have got to do it the hard way, but fortunately they've got plenty of time in which to do it. Matt Hill lifts the ball forward now. North End will throw everything at West Ham United now to try and get back on level terms. The ball just outside the area, West Ham in possession. Clearly the ball downfield. Chris Lucchetti gets the better of Zamora on this occasion. Inside to McKenna, now to Hill, he lifts it forward. Eddie Lewis in the chase down the left-hand side, throw into North End, level with the edge of the West Ham area. And it is said that you're at your most vulnerable when you've just scored a goal. Eddie Lewis with a run at the West Ham defence, the ball cleared away. Claude Davis to Matt Hill, inside to Brian O'Neill. O'Neill coming forward to the edge of the area. Ball brought away by Ward. And now it's Bobby Zamora with another run at the Preston defence. The ball goes through, straight through to Carlo Nash. West Ham United 1, Preston North End 0. But North End have got 31 minutes to do something about that scoreline. They're coming forward. Brian O'Neill, and that's a free kick to West Ham United for the challenge by O'Neill on Rio Coca. Not yet a disaster, Matt.
It's not a disaster by any means. North End would need a goal anyway to win this game, so it's as you were, we need a goal regardless.
The electric scoreboard says Preston 0, West Ham 1. West Ham with this free kick, which Ferdinand will take. Typically of North End supporters, they really are making a lot of noise. The ball with Mawini, trying to get the ball away to Sedgwick. Sedgwick does well. Sedgwick down that right-hand side, comes away with the ball. Plays it forward to Richard Creswell. Now into McKenna. McKenna gets the ball forward. Again, Nugent just slips on the greasy surface, and West Ham United get the ball away. Up now to Harewood with a runner again at the North End defence. Good interception by Daves. In fact, the referee's given a free kick to West Ham. He's obviously seen a challenge, which I have to say I didn't see, but the referee very much closer to the play. Has some words with Brian O'Neill. It's a free kick to West Ham United, midway inside the Preston half. North End really can't afford to concede another goal. They've got to clear the danger here. They leave Richard Creswell forward. Etherington floats the ball in. The ball nodded in. It was a free header for Zamora as the flag stayed down. Mawini looks to the linesman claiming an offside, but it didn't come, Matt.
That was a chance again for West Ham. They'll look at this video if they don't win this one. They've had so many chances.
Well, North End have got 29 minutes to do something about this 1-0 deficit. But so often, if you can get an equaliser, that goal really does spur you on to greater things. And North End really do need to get some service to David Nugent. There's a booking for Yalma Winnie for the challenge. And that's a free kick to West Ham United, which is about 2 yards inside the Preston half and about 8 yards in from the left touchline. West Ham United leading by 1-0. There could be Premiership football at Upton Park next season. North End, 28 minutes plus whatever there is in stoppage time to prevent that happening. West Ham United bringing the ball forward down the left-hand side. Still West Ham in possession. Ball put out by Luchetti for the throw into West Ham. It's about 8 yards from the Preston goal line on the left-hand side. Powell to take it. West Ham United supporters enjoying the moment. We're deep inside Preston territory. Herwood shields the ball, tries to get it through. It's Powell coming into the area. Good challenge by Mawini. It needed to be a good one because there was a danger that Powell would have tripped in the box and the referee might have been kidded. Richard Creswell to McKenna, but West Ham get the ball forward. Luchetti heads it away and it's a foot up against Zamora. But North End just need to lift their game up.
Yeah, we do. We opened the half quite promisingly, but we've just gone on the back foot a bit. But that's going to happen. West Ham are on the front foot as we speak, so North End will get a chance.
David Nugent just can't reach that ball that goes out for a throw into West Ham United, almost level with the West Ham area and on the right-hand side. The Preston North End supporters very, very much behind their players. And as Matt was saying, North End will get a chance. When it comes along, they will have to take it. But Chris Luchetti pumps the ball forward. Knocked down for David Nugent. Nugent going in towards the edge of the area. Still Nugent. Nugent gets in a shot. The keeper saves it. That was a very good run by David Nugent. It was only a half chance, and even then he created it himself. But he had the West Ham defence in a panic, Matt.
First time we've seen him run at him, isn't it? And the back topping like nothing else. He did get to the edge of the box. He almost got inside it, but unfortunately hit it straight at Jimmy Walker.
So, encouragement for the Preston North End supporters. Encouragement for the Preston North End players. And what will that do to the mindset of West Ham United? Claude Davis gets the ball forward to Sedgwick. He lifts it further forward, looking for Creswell. Ball headed back by Ward, won by O'Neill. Eddie Lewis battling for the ball, as is McKenna. The ball lifted forward. David Nugent and Ferdinand. Ball knocked down, and Repka will find Ward, and he will find Walker. Really amazing scenes. North End, perhaps unfortunate that Claude Davis, in trying to reach the cross from Etherington, slipped on the watered surface, and it's ball went through to Zamora, who just clipped the ball beyond Carlo Nash. That's the goal which separates the two sides. Just over 25 minutes of the match remaining, but plenty of time for North End to get back into this match. McKenna, the midfield dynamo for North End, coming forward, finds Creswell, back to Mawini on the right-hand side. Mawini to the edge of the area to Nugent. Ferdinand tries to get in a challenge. North End get the ball to McKenna, now to O'Neill, now to Hill. North End being very, very positive, trying to do the simple things. And then there's a good run off the ball by Paul McKenna. Has just a little bit too much pace. But North End certainly bringing the game to West Ham, Matt.
They've got to now. There's 25 minutes gone in the second half, sorry. They've got to start pushing forwards and taking a few gambles.
We have in fact got 25 minutes of the match remaining. The clock continues to tick down though. Goal kick to West Ham United. They've got a priceless 1-goal cushion, have West Ham, and that could be enough to secure Premiership football. Ball cleared away very poorly by the keeper. And there's Eddie Lewis coming forward. Lewis with a run at the West Ham defence. being held off. The ball played back to Etherington. North End with Brian O'Neill. Plays it into the path of Luchetti. A short ball forward to Creswell, who's come off his marker. Creswell's first touch lets him down, and in the end it's Repka who slices that ball away, and it goes out for a throw-in to Preston North End. The ball in amongst the West Ham United supporters. Brian O'Neill wants the ball, and he wants it quickly. Matt Hill with the throw-in. Almost midway inside the West Ham half. The Preston North End football special, live from the Millennium Stadium. A throw-in now, level with the edge of the West Ham area. Matt Hill with the throw. Throws it into Eddie Lewis. Lewis plays it back to Hill. They want the cross, the ball delivered into the back post. Nugent goes up high, the ball comes to Creswell, and Creswell, oh, I thought for one moment he'd found the target. He hit it on the volley as the ball came to him on the edge of the area. That was close, Matt.
Yeah, he did well to bring the ball down and hit it on the volley. He seemed to have a lot of time there, and he did well to take advantage of it. Took it down and he hit it to Jimmy Walker's right, just wide.
So twice now with Nugent and Creswell. North End getting closer. Is it going through Billy Davis's mind, I wonder, to think about bringing Patrick Adjumang in to add a third striker? No movement on the Preston North End bench yet. Maybe now Billy Davis is. It looks as though he's having some words with the Preston North End bench, whether it's just to get somebody limbering up or whether he's made a decision to just tinker a little bit. Ball played forward to David Nugent. Now it's Sedgwick chases the ball. Powell gets there first. Powell, I have to say, has had a very good game for West Ham United down that left-hand side. Showed the willingness to come forward, but Claude Davis wins the ball and a throw-in for North End. A little bit of movement on that Preston North End bench, but no sign yet of a substitution. We're at the halfway stage in this second half. North End from somewhere in the next 22 minutes have got to find a goal to at least take this game to extra time. Richard Creswell on that right-hand side nods the ball inside. Nugent with the run at the defence. Nugent down the right-hand side, if he can deliver in a cross. Eddie Lewis is in the box. Nugent with the ball, plays the ball back to Sedgwick. Sedgwick now being hemmed in on the right-hand side. Sedgwick trying to get through. He got through one man, can't get through the second. Plays the ball away. And it's Herwood and Mawini in a battle for the ball. Herwood coming forward. Good interception by Davis, and it needed to be, Matt.
Yes, the Newell's gone down after that challenge. He's stretched, and he's not looking too happy with that one. He's laid out as we speak, and the physio's just turned into him. But he tried to make a challenge there, and he looks like he's overstretched.
It could signal a return for Graham Alexander. Mawini did stretch. It could possibly be that he's done a hamstring, as indeed Graham Alexander did at Derby, which kept him out of the second leg, and it looks as though North End are going to make a substitution. I can't work out whether it's Dixon Atuhu or Patrick Adjumang, but one of the two is standing up. Mawini goes off to receive attention. Going to take a lot to take Mawini out of this game. West Ham United have got a throw in, and North End going to make a substitution. It looks as though it's Dixon Atuhu, and Atuhu, still we wait. West Ham United in possession, just inside the Preston half. Ball played out to the right-hand side to Repka, down the right-hand side, and that's West Ham United in possession with a nice cross now from Repka. The ball headed on, and that was wide of the post from Herwood. It was Colin Nash went down for it. I think he had it well and truly covered, though, Matt.
He did. It was going wide from the minute he left his head. He's making a substitution now. It's Patrick Adjumang coming on, and Chris Sedgwick's going off.
Well, Adjumang's pace might just cause problem for Powell down that right-hand side. Patrick Adjumang looks as though Richard Creswell is going to play wide on that right-hand side, with Adjumang partnering David Nugent. Just under 20 minutes for Adjumang to stamp his card on this match, and he really does have the pace with David Nugent to do something about it. Luketti heads the ball forward. Repka heads it away. Davis challenges in the centre circle. Now it's Richard Creswell challenging for the ball. It ricochets away. Powell is underneath it, heads it on. Helped on by Etherington. Touchdown by Zamora, the man whose goal separates the two sides. Billy Davis fields the ball, a throw into West Ham United, and they're not in any hurry to take it. It's just inside the West Ham half, on the left-hand side. 19 minutes of the match remaining. Billy Davis goes and takes his place on the Preston bench. What else is going through the Preston manager's mind? He's brought North End from a position close to relegation in December to within touching distance of the Premiership, but the pendulum has just swung slightly in West Ham United's favour. They have the goal which separates the two sides. Adjumang heads the ball on, ball headed back, cleared away by Ward. Davis puts the ball back into the West Ham half of the field, and already there are some very, very tired legs out there. Zamora battling for the ball as Chris Luketti and Harewood challenge, and in the end it's Mawini plays the ball to Davis. The North End have got a free kick. Mawini is still hobbling a little bit. Eddie Lewis gets the ball into Luketti, out to the left-hand side to Matt Hill. Hill comes in fine, finds Brian O'Neill in the centre circle. O'Neill looks at the options. North End getting more and more men forward. Luketti to Hill on this left-hand side. Ball lifted forward. Ball nicely nodded down though by Ferdinand. Ferdinand has tended to do the simple things for West Ham. Chris Luketti goes into Bobby Zamora. It was a 50-50 ball. Zamora has made the most of it. The referee has given has given West Ham United a free kick. I think Luketti was entitled to make a challenge for that, Matt.
Yeah, he went for the ball. It was clear to see. He just didn't get it. He got the man before the ball. The referee's calmed the situation down there, and Bobby Zamora, like we expect, is playing for the time. He's not really injured, I don't think.
Well, you're not missing anything because Bobby Zamora being attended to by the physio. The Preston North End football special live from the Millennium Stadium. Preston North End have got just under 17 minutes, plus whatever the referee will add on for stoppages, to get back the goal by which they trail and to prevent West Ham United reaching the Premiership next season. A free kick to West Ham, which will be taken by Repka. And it looks as though West Ham United may want a substitution. They are in fact taking Zamora off, bringing Christian Daly on, so they will consider that Bobby Zamora has done his job. His season is over when he resumes for West Ham United next season. Will it be in the Championship or the Premiership? A free kick to West Ham. Both sides have made one substitution. Ball played forward. Harewood controls the ball deep inside North End territory. Chris Luketti is trying to prevent the ball going behind for the corner, but the ball just pushed inside. Brian O'Neill battles well. In the end it's won by Eddie Lewis and O'Neill, and Luketti slams the ball away downfield. Ball knocked back inside by Christian Daly, once the Blackburn Rovers. And it's Daly again for West Ham. Plays the ball into his own half. Repka plays it forward. That should be food and drink to Matt Hill, who skies the ball forward. Didn't get a lot of distance on it. Now Hill gets a second bite of the cherry. Gets it further forward. Ferdinand heads it on. Adjumang challenges for the ball. Gets it to Nugent. Nugent turns. Gets it out to Creswell on the right-hand side. Mawini says, leave it to me. Still Mawini coming forward. Plays a short ball into McKenna. Now to Davis. North End try another route. O'Neill with Eddie Lewis on the left-hand side. A short ball to Matt Hill. Inside to O'Neill. Short ball to the right-hand side. Very patient build-up. Richard Creswell trying to open up this West Ham defence, and he's brought down. That's a free kick, and this will be Eddie Lewis territory surely. It's in an inside right channel as Preston North End look at it. No booking for West Ham's defender. Eddie Lewis is over the ball, so is Paul McKenna. Again, it could be route one from McKenna. it could be route one from Eddie Lewis. And Eddie Lewis just tees it up. It's about 10 yards outside the box, certainly within the compass of Eddie Lewis. I remember him knocking one in at Leicester from a similar position. Eddie Lewis has a look at it. The keeper on his line. Lewis comes for, oh, he got right underneath that one and put it over the crossbar. A wasted opportunity, Matt.
Yeah, it's unfortunate that one. He just got underneath it like Matty Edmonds did in the first half. And, well, we'll just have to wait for another chance.
We're inside the final 14 minutes. West Ham United lead by 1-0. Preston North End have made one substitution. Billy Davis has engineered Preston North End to this final. West Ham with the goal kick, a lot of distance on it. Mawini, the majestic Mawini, wins it in the air, but it's West Ham United win it back again. Ball played out to the right hand side. Still West Ham United in possession with Newton, jinking and weaving. Newton runs it down and then a dive that would have been wonderful in the Olympics. Doesn't look very good here in the Millennium Stadium, and I think the referee might have some words to say to Sean Newton. Certainly having some words to say to him. Leaves Newton sitting on his backside deep inside Preston territory. Ball played short to Davis. Davis bringing the ball forward. The Preston North End supporters really get behind their man. Newton stays down. The West Ham supporters screaming for the ball to be put out. I think, and I don't think I'm being too unkind to Mr. Newton, I think that's play acting, Matt.
It looks like he's got a bit of cramp, and you know what it's like when you got cramp, you can't move, but you don't need a physio on to come and get it off, you just run it off.
Oh, Preston North End doing the very sporting thing and putting the ball out. I would like to think that West Ham would have done a similar thing in similar situations. Billy Davis has some words with Brian O'Neill. Ned Kelly is there as well. And surely West Ham United will give this ball back to Preston North End. And the referee's coming across to have a words with Newton. It is cramp, and the referee's saying these sorts of things happen in cup finals, and is telling Newton to get off the pitch. Oh no, he doesn't come off. Oh, he's now coming off. For that, I hope the referee has taken due recognition of how long this stoppage has taken. And West Ham United will surely give the ball back to Preston North End, which they do. North End have to do it from deep again. Carlo Nash, the clock continuing to tick down. 11.5 minutes remaining at the Millennium Stadium. The ball played forward. Good header away by Daly, but Davis gets the ball inside to McKenna. North End will now dig deep to find all their reserves of strength. O'Neill clips the ball inside to Eddie Lewis. He lifts it forward to Adjumang. Adjumang turning away from his marker. A run at the defence. Still Adjumang going forward. He appeared to be fouled. The referee says play on. Eddie Lewis tries to thread it through. Richard Creswell. Adjumang goes into the area, and Matt Hill will allow that ball to run behind for a corner kick. North End getting closer. Adjumang and Creswell and Lewis all getting into the act. Eddie Lewis, a short corner to Matt Hill, a crowded area, the ball played inside, and Richard Creswell, the goalkeeper, saves it. It was a flying header from Creswell, and the goalkeeper just gathered it on his goal line. West Ham now trying to strike on the break. Etherington coming forward, the ball played in, and Davis does remarkably well to get a leg to the ball and steer it back to Carlo Nash. That was West Ham trying to strike on the break. 10.5 minutes plus stoppage time. Preston North End trail by 1-0, but giving it everything they've got on the Preston North End football special, the final match of the season. Can North End at least take it into extra time? Davis coming forward for Preston North End, plays it into McKenna. McKenna doesn't get a touch. Lewis is battling for the ball, but West Ham have got possession. North End can't afford to concede a goal. Still West Ham just on the edge of the area, and the ball played in, and that goes behind for the goal kick. Harewood slipped on the edge of the area. A goal kick to Preston North End. North End might just still do it, Matt.
That slip has kept North End in the match, because West Ham had 3 players surging past the North End defence, and all Harewood had to do was look up and play it into the path.
Matt Hill for Preston North End on the halfway line, wide on the left-hand side, inside to Eddie Lewis. Lewis forward to Adjimang, a nice little dummy by Adjimang, and he's tripped. That's a trip by Sean Newton. Already incurred the wrath of the Preston North End supporters for the time wasting. And it's a free kick. North End going to make another substitution. Dixon Atuhu will come on. Brian O'Neill will go off. Brian O'Neill's wonderful season, Matt, is over.
It is, yeah, he's done well this season. He's got through a lot of games for a guy who had experimental surgery on his knee. And he goes off, and Dixon Atuhu's energy will be vital in these last 8 minutes.
Dixon Atuhu owes Preston North End a goal. What a time it would be for payback here in the Millennium Stadium. 8.5 minutes remaining. West Ham make a substitution. All of this, I'm hoping, is being noted by the referee. We could have an enormous amount of stoppage time. Mark Noble comes on. Preston North End with this free kick, midway inside the West Ham half, and about 8 to 10 yards in from the left touchline. Paul McKenna, can he find a head wearing a white jersey? McKenna floats the ball in, up go the heads, the ball. It's Christian Daly who gets the touch, and the goalkeeper gathers off the shoulders of Richard Creswell and bowls the ball away. West Ham United trying to strike on the break. North End know that if West Ham were to get another goal at this stage, it would be all over. Whilst it's still at 1-0, there is always hope for North End, particularly with the stoppage time which we have. The ball with Carlo Nash. It needs a good clearance downfield. The short ball goes to Claude Davis. He gives it to Dixon Atuhu of the fresh legs. Atuhu lifts it forward up towards the edge of the area. Ward scoops it away. West Ham United, I think, have decided to go back and just try and defend this lead. Eddie Lewis comes forward for North End. Ball played in, tries to find McKenna. And West Ham United come away on the break. That's an offside. Harewood was always straying into an offside position as Claude Davis took a step forward. A free kick to North End, which Carlo Nash will take. It's just about 8 yards below the centre circle. Nash pumps the ball up towards the edge of the area, and the keeper comes and gathers, and he's outside the area. And that's a free kick, and the keeper's gone down in pain. It's a free kick right on the edge of the area for Preston North End, and the West Ham United keeper appeared to fall awkwardly. The momentum of it took him outside of the area, and he carried the ball with him. This could be a wonderful, wonderful chance for Preston North End. The goalkeeper is down injured, requiring attention. It could very well be that West Ham United might have to bring on a substitute goalkeeper. And it looks as though they want to stretch it for the keeper. If it comes to penalties, West Ham United would have to do it, as things stand at the moment, with a substitute goalkeeper. But to get to the penalty stage, Preston have got to get a goal. What they've got is a free kick, literally on the edge of the area, Matt.
Yeah, if he is a keeper coming on, it's Stephen Bywater. We know what type of game he had at Upton Park, a very nervous game. And well, this incident here, Tom, if the referee has judged that he's handballed outside the area, regardless of whether it's accidental or not, surely that's a red card, isn't it?
Well, it should be the red card, but the inconsistency of referees and their decisions is something that if the goalkeeper goes off, he should put a red card on the stretcher when he goes off with him and reduce West Ham to 10 men. It would still allow them to bring Bywater on, but they would have to take an out player off. You're not missing anything, because we're now looking for a splint, I think, for the goalkeeper. So there's going to be an enormous amount of stoppage time. The clock says we've got 5 minutes. We'll have an awful lot more than that. What drama we've got here in a season for Preston North End, which has been absolutely clinical, absolutely devastating. Jimmy Walker's season is over. He's not going to take any further part because he's being helped onto the stretcher. And we do hope, Matt, that it's not a serious injury.
Yeah, it fell awkwardly because he realised mid-air, I think, that he was going to land outside the box with the ball in his hands. So he tried desperately to get his feet back in the area, but as he landed, obviously that's going to bring an awkward fall, and he's just twisted his knee or done something to his knee because it's going off and he's being carried off now.
Well, this is a sad sight in football. The Preston North End will take the moment. Bywater will come on. It's most certainly Graham Alexander territory. It's right on the edge of the area, literally on the line, or maybe a foot outside, because that's where the goalkeeper dragged the ball to. McKenna's over the ball, and it could be that with his first touch, Graham Alexander could be the leader of the band. Eddie Lewis is over the ball. McKenna's there. This, to me, though, Matt, would be Graham Alexander territory in normal circumstances. McKenna fancies it. David Nugent is behind the wall. The referee paces the wall out. There's an enormous gap to the goalkeeper's right. Could Eddie Lewis find it? Could Paul McKenna find it? Or is the ball going to be played to the right to Alexander? McKenna comes forward, hits it, and Bywater manages to claw that ball away. It went through the wall, and Bywater goes down on his hands and his knees, and he gathers that ball. Enormous cheer of relief from West Ham.
Just hit it through the wall, and Bywater, he saw it late, but he managed to get down to his left, low, to save the ball.
Well, we've got 2.5 minutes of normal time, but there has to be at least 5 minutes of stoppage time. North End coming forward, West Ham just trying to defend in depth. Is there any more drama? And again, well, West Ham come forward. There were a couple of players offside, but the ball wasn't played forward, and it's North End with some defending to do. They got to get that ball, and they mustn't concede a goal. A throw into West Ham, deep inside North End territory, about 6 yards from the Preston goal line, into the final 2 minutes. But we will surely get an enormous amount of stoppage time from the referee. West Ham United will try to keep the ball in the North End half of the field. Preston know that they mustn't concede another goal. The Preston North End football special coming to you live from the Millennium Stadium. The ball deep inside Preston territory, and that ball goes, in fact it doesn't go out, it's cleared away. What can Graham Alexander offer North End? Fresh legs. A throw into West Ham United, 20 yards inside the Preston half. Repka. We've got just over a minute of normal time, but what have we got in terms of stoppage time? The ball into the area, and the ball is drilled wide. Graham Alexander goes after it to try and keep it in, and he manages to do that deep inside Preston territory. Alexander comes forward, gets the ball up to Patrick Adjumang, nodded back by Daly. And then the ball is cleared away into touch. It's a throw into Preston North End, 10 yards inside the Preston half. 42 seconds of normal time remaining, but there will be an enormous amount of stoppage time if there is any justice. Graham Alexander for North End gets it forward, another good interception by Powell, and he's done that so many times this afternoon. West Ham United get it forward, Davis intercepts, plays it back to Nash. It'll be route one surely now from Carlo Nash in his yellow jersey, gets the ball forward deep inside West Ham territory. Ward heads it away, Davis gets it into McKenna. McKenna battles for the ball lofted forward, it's Davis and Harewood. Harewood gets there first, and referee says play on. The ball is with Carlo Nash. 7 minutes of stoppage time. What can North End do? Are there 7 minutes of North End season to play? Or maybe 37? Can they get a goal? Creswell coming forward. West Ham look very, very tired. Eddie Lewis touches it on. Adjuman gets it to Matt Hill on the left-hand side. Hill goes, and that ball is cleared away from inside the 6-yard box. Preston North End asking the questions. The North End supporters really up for this. The Preston North End football special with Tom Parker and Matt Morris. The cross delivered in. Chris Luchetti gets the ball in, and the referee's given a free kick against Luchetti. And that will just ease things down for West Ham, Matt.
Yeah, that's just what they want, a nice breather. 55 seconds into the first minute of injury time.
What have North End got left in the tank? Graham Alexander is going to play as an out-and-out right winger. North End throw caution to the wind. They trail by a goal to nil. They might as well lose 2-0 as 1-0. But they've got to throw players forward to try and get an equaliser. Alexander has to play the ball back to Carlo Nash. Now surely route one from Nash. Ball zooms into the West Ham half of the field. Adjumang tries to get a touch. Nugent tries to find Alexander. Paul McKenna wins the ball. The midfield dynamo lifts it forward. Luchetti staying forward. Nodded down. The ball goes to the West Ham keeper, Bywater, as Adjumang moves in. And Bywater just gathers the ball and brings it away to the edge of the area. Lofts the ball high across the deep pastures of the Millennium Stadium, and it's a throw into North End. Thrown. In fact, the linesman has given the throw into West Ham United. It's deep inside North End territory, but North End just keep the players forward. They've got to just defend this and get the ball forward in a last-ditch attempt to try and salvage the season. Well, is it still there? North End bring the ball away with Davis. He just plays the ball back to Nash. Nash lifts the ball forwards. Ball played back again. Some very, very tired legs out there. West Ham, though, with the one-goal cushion, as Nash, urged on by the North End supporters, gets the ball forward. Paul McKenna can't reach it, but Claude Davis can. North End just need to get the ball forward. Out to Graham Alexander in the sunshine. Over on the far side, Dixon Atuhu turns, lifts it forward to Adjumang. Adjumang of the blue boots gets away from Daly. Still Adjumang. Now Graham Alexander takes over, played into McKenna. McKenna plays it forward. Luchetti chases it with Repka. And Repka tries to allow it to run behind, and it goes behind for a goal kick. Chris Luchetti now is playing as an out-and-out striker. Repka has gone down injured. He's off the field of play, so the referee should say to him, stay there, and we'll get on with the match. A goal kick to West Ham United. The clock continues to tick down. West Ham United with this slender one-goal lead, ready to salute and welcome the Premiership. Are Preston North End going to be party poopers? They're leaving everybody forward. They just want that ball. Bywater with the goal kick. Plays it forward, out to the left-hand side. Herwood controls it, but it's won by Davis. He gets it forward. Powell heads it back. Herwood controls it on his thigh. Runs at the North End defence. West Ham United coming forward just outside the area, trying to put the match to bed, and that takes a... Well, I thought it took a deflection. The referee says not. A goal kick to North End. Nash already has the ball back in play. Forward for Adjumang. Good header by Daly, but only as far as Hill. Hill comes forward. Short ball into Adjumang, running at the West Ham defence. Adjumang gets the ball away, helped onto by Luchetti. And Dixon Atuhu just can't get there. And West Ham bring it away offside. And North End get the chance to get this ball back into the West Ham United half of the field. McKenna with the free kick for North End. The clock continuing to tick down. McKenna lifts the ball forward. Some people can hardly watch. And the ball bobbles away off Chris Luchetti. Bywater gathers it. North End have given their all. It's a free kick to West Ham United in the West Ham area. How long have we got left, Mark? 2 minutes for Preston North End to salvage the season and to take the game into extra time. The ball cleared away. Herwood controls it, but Graham Alexander He's got fresh legs for North End. Plays it out to poor one from Alexander. Doesn't get through to Nugent, and that goes out for a throw-in. Anywhere will do now. In fact, it doesn't go out. And Carlo Nash comes out of his area, hoofs the ball forward, gets it into the West Ham half of the field. The West Ham supporters screaming for the whistle. Nugent helps the ball on, and the ball goes through to the keeper, who drops it, and then as Hill moves in on it, he regathers it. West Ham come forward. They'll just try to keep possession. They come down the right-hand side. North End want the ball back. They've got to get the ball back. The ball is with Noble, won by McKenna. A throw into West Ham. The clock continues to tickle down. A throw into West Ham. They're in no hurry to take it. The referee's telling them to get on with it. Davis gets there, lifts the ball in the air, and then clears it away. North End need one superhuman effort now. The ball played forward. Hope Daly heads it back, but only as far as Creswell. Creswell out to Graham Alexander. Alexander on the right-hand side, lifts the ball into the area. Just Lucchesi's underneath it, gets his head to the ball, but it ricochets away. A throw into North End. The referee has a look at his watch. Preston North End supporters really behind their side. Eddie Lewis to Matt Hill, and it's gone out for a throw into West Ham. And West Ham have got the ball deep inside their own half of the field, and they're in no hurry at all to take it. The referee's having a look at his watch. This could be the final throw. North End with everybody except Nash in the West Ham. There's the final whistle, and West Ham United are in the Premiership, and Preston North End, with a valiant season, have given their all, but unfortunately here in South Wales, it's West Ham United who will go through to the Premiership, and North End will have to face another season in the Coca-Cola Championship. From Matt Morris and me, Tom Parker, we leave you with the final scoreline of West Ham United 1, Preston North End 0. Eddie, as one of the fans' greatest favourites, you must be bitterly disappointed.
Yeah, you know, I think the whole group in there really, you build up to this game after a full season in the playoffs and everything else, and a one-off game for such a massive prize, and you know, you only really picture it going in one direction, and when it goes the other way, you know, it hurts pretty bad. And I think, to be honest, it's going to take a couple of weeks before you know, players start to get back on their feet and you know, get yourself going again to give it another go.
You've reached the playoffs. It's been a wonderful season after a dreadful start. Is it fair to say that had you made a better start, you could have had automatic promotion? Well,
you know, I think over the next week or two, those are the thoughts that are going to be running through your mind, as well as little bits and points from the games and other things and all the, you know, woulda, couldas. But you know, I think overall it has been a very good season, and if I did, you know, have to take the positives away, you know, I think it's you know, everybody be very happy with the way it went, and you know, the form we left it with, the players we've acquired. I think it's a great core, and you know, if we bring in another one or two guys that can contribute, it's a very strong team for next season.
Just looking at the second half of the season, where North End did remarkably well, do you really feel that they could go for automatic promotion next time?
Well, I think you know, that's every team's, you know, goal to start with, and you know, I don't really see why not with us. Our form has been very consistent, you know, in the second half of the season. We've, like I mentioned, brought in a couple of players that have really contributed. There's a fantastic team spirit, so you know, I don't understand why over the course of a season, you know, that wouldn't play out to our benefit.
Eddie, there's a question I have to ask you, and I have to ask you on behalf of the Preston North End fans, because they really want to know, are you signing a new contract?
Yeah, I hope so. You know, I think things have just been kind of put on the back burner until these games were finished, and you know, now that they are, hopefully over the next couple of days, everyone can let things settle down, and then you know, get back into work, and you know, not only me, but getting a couple other guys signed up for next season to you know, to give it a real push.
Chris, the manager and you yourself as the captain, it must be even more disappointing to you.
Yeah, devastated. Obviously, it's to be so near yet so far away. You know, from the best league in the world, it's heartbreaking at the moment. It's a bad place in that dressing room. Everybody's devastated on the floor. It's tough, yeah, it's very tough at this moment in time.
The goal, a little bit fortunate?
Yeah, they had a bit of fortune. I think the pitch maybe helped him a little bit. I think a couple of lads were chasing back, and as he turned to clear the cross and slipped at maybe the vital time, and it gives them more of the time and space to finish it well.
You went to goal down, but none of the lads ever stopped trying, and you did have your chances.
Yeah, we had some chances, you know, but we either wasn't clinical enough or maybe didn't get the breaks that we needed.
Billy, very, very disappointing.
Yeah, disappointed, obviously. The first goal was crucial. We knew that ourselves. I think one of our players slipped in the box, which could have been a disappointment for us. Obviously, it was a disappointment, but I'd like to see it again on video. We had chances, both teams had chances, but on the day, once again, I can ask no more of the players. These players have given us everything they've had this season. We're very, very proud of what they've achieved. We're very proud to be here and to have given that opportunity to go and get to the Prem. It just wasn't to be, and now we wish West Ham all the very best for the future.
When you went goal behind, what were you saying to your players?
Really just the same again. We knew that we had some chances and we just got to keep plodding on, as we say, but it was a crucial time to lose a goal. We tried to talk about the pitch before the game and the studs and the situation. We tried to talk about the importance of the 15 minutes at the start of the second half. And unfortunately, we just lost that goal. But, you know, once again, I say that we're very proud. Disappointed, but very, very proud.
You're obviously proud, Bill, but looking at it on a personal point of view, when you actually did take over, you really have lifted the team from the lower reaches of the division and got them within 90 minutes of the Premiership. That must please you personally.
Yeah, it's been a great achievement, there's no doubt about it. As I said before, as a manager, I'm very, very proud and privileged to be standing here and just being so near yet so far. It's a great experience for everyone concerned. We've just got to learn from it. We've got to move on. We've got to accept that these are the situations in football. There's always a winner and always a loser. And you know, as I said to these guys at the end of the game there in the dressing room, get their head up. Be very proud of what you've done. You've made a lot of people delighted this year with the performances throughout the season, and it just wasn't to be.